Hello everyone, welcome to Cardano Catalyst TV. I am Mi Jung and today we have Jack O'Brien with his proposal, Learned Token Engineer. Hi Jack, how are you?
Hi, how's it going? Hello everyone, I'm Jack.
Okay, so first question, can you share with us your proposal that you submitted for Fund8 and why do you have this idea?
Yeah, absolutely. So the proposal I'm submitting to IdeaScale, or Catalyst, is the Learn Token Engineering in the Developer Ecosystem Challenge, which is a beginner course. And one of the reasons why I sort of thought about the idea was because I wanted to learn and discover more about how we can design complex systems on top of blockchains, as well as share that knowledge with other people, because there isn't much of a token engineering community here on the Cardano ecosystem. And I thought, well, instead of just showing up the Ethereum camp stuff or Token Engineering Commons, and the commons and all the resources and the meetings that they have there for the Ethereum community, I figured that, well, why not just take all this knowledge and then just implement it within the context of Cardano and then and its UTXO and see what happens, because token engineering is an emerging discipline, right? It just happens to be a very complex one, has many sciences associated with it, requires a lot of knowledge and many scientific backgrounds and difficult concepts that are generally very hard to understand, and it scares a lot of people away. So I thought maybe, well, because I'm putting this proposal up, I'm a pretty novice token engineer myself, and while I may lack extensive knowledge in this field, I may not be able to explain it as well as an expert, but however, by having a fresh mind and explaining some new concepts might make it easier for other people to understand. Richard Feynman, the physicist, learn by teaching other people, right? So that's kind of that philosophy I'm taking. I wanted to try and myself understand this discipline, as well as get other people, entrepreneurs and developers to learn this discipline as well.
Okay. Thank you so much for your sharing. That's very useful. And with your team settings, how can this proposal be implemented, and how is the timeline broken down?
Right. So we want to, basically build out a series of bite-sized little videos. So like maybe 5 to 9, 10 minutes long. And I'm going to group them into these sort of like modules, which you can kind of think of them like chapters, which are just like series of chapters, like the little module, the module, and then like the little videos, and then like the documentation associated with each one, as well as exercises. To maybe cement some of that stuff. So I also want to kind of incorporate 2D, 3D animated sort of stuff. So I'll be doing that kind of stuff to explain maybe some of the concepts a little bit easier, rather than just me talking behind a keynote or presentation kind of a thing. As I kind of find that some animated videos, like in some of the previous videos I've done, actually really do help explain some concepts. All of the transcriptions and stuff will be translated in, multiple different languages: Japanese, Vietnamese, Indonesian, whatnot. Compilable code, all that will be thrown up along with each of the videos. Well, I've planned out the modules into 3 months. Mm-hmm. So I want to do a total of about 5 to 6 modules. And the first one being token engineering and token economics, markets design, game theory and market design, token policies and incentive design. And, each of those are not easy topics to explain, but I reckon that, I've got the expertise around me. So it really isn't going to be, a difficult challenge, just a lot of work and production involved. I'm used to this, so I can push through it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, so where can the community track for your project's activities?
Yep, a lot of I'm using Orbit as my primary KPI tool, which is an activity tracker for general stuff that people do on the interwebs. But it's not GitHub is also going to be my primary working tool, but also up there with Orbit as being like the primary tracker, so to speak, to see where activity is going. So pull requests, issues, commits, documentation, code, transcripts, everything that's going up there. So you'll be able to track everything on that. YouTube, obviously, for the videos. Duh. I might also think about doing Discord server for real-time sort of feed for announcements and stuff and people to ask questions and support. But yeah, as far as tracking goes, that's pretty much it. Just those 4 tools.
Yes, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So do you have anything else to share with the voters to ask for their vote?
Yeah, so in order to improve the quality of the products we want to develop on Cardano, entrepreneurs and developers kind of need a better understanding of the economic interactions we have and concepts and models that capture the interactions we make, and a more in-depth understanding of how token economic systems work and how they work in these types of networks. And most people don't really have any idea of how to make the most of this technology, don't even know how markets work and how to engineer them. Governance is still pretty foreign. Voting is just one of the many institutions you can use to govern something, but markets are also another one. So in order to make the most of the blockchain, we need complex adaptive systems that interact with this technology, not simple ones. So vote for me. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone. If you want to vote for Jack, please come on IdeaScale or the voting app and search for Learn Token Engineering. Thank you, everyone, for watching Cardano Catalyst TV, and I'm Mita.